Welcome to lesson 3, A Man's a Man for All That. Great tune for Robbie Burns celebration, and so excited to teach it to you. Check out the link below for all the lessons, and I got some sheet music for you too, highlighted so you know which section I'm working on. And in this lesson, we're doing this nice little rundown bit. And we're going to do no embellishments first, then we'll add those embellishments back in, so you can hop ahead in the video if you really want to get to those embellishments. But just to talk quickly about note transitions, we ended lesson 2 on an E. So E up to high G. I don't think we played a high G at this tune, so let's talk about it. We're going to lift those top 2 fingers up to get to high G. Bottom hand stays in the low A position. Thumb stays on the back. It stays on its hole. This first section, we're just basically walking down the scale. So we're on high G. We drop down 1 finger to F. We drop down 1 more finger to E. And then we drop down to D, that E to D transition, which you may have practiced had you done lesson 1. So if not, go back to lesson 1 and work on that transition. So after that D, here is where we stop walking down the scale 1 note at a time, and we're just going from D, boom, down to low A. So D, boom, down to low A. Make sure that pinky finger lifts up. All the other hands of the bottom hand should be on their holes. And then after that low A, we're just going to pop up 1 note by lifting the ring finger of the bottom hand up to B. So that's the rhythm of it, the transition of it, more so the transition of it. Rhythm of it we'll chat about here very, very briefly. So we have 2 beats per bar. Our first beat in this 3rd bar is going to be right on that F. So that F gets the beat. The next beat's going to fall on that D. So you can put a little tick, a little highlight that those are the 2 down beats if you're tapping your foot. And then that, you'll notice these 8th notes are tied together in pairs. So that first F is an 8th note, the E is an 8th note, the D is an 8th note, and the low A is an 8th note. So the pairs are drawn, and we know that first F has a dot, so it's a little bit longer. It's going to be longer than that next note, which is a E. And then the D and the low A, they're the same length. There's no dot, there's no extra little line on the tail coming down, so we know they're the same length. So you can know this cognitively and be able to see the sheet music and not play it, but what's helpful is just hearing it. So we'll go into embellishments. I'll play it a couple times with embellishments, but here for that rhythm, tap your foot or clap along on that F, D, dum, and on that D, D, da, 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 dum. So try to tap or clap along on those 2 as we roll into embellishments here. So talking about the breakdown of these embellishments, we haven't done a G doubling or half doubling, whatever you want to call it here. So we're on the E. So we're going to lift up that G grace note finger. And it's like, it's going to... Yeah, so we lift up that G grace note finger, and I mean, really, if both lift up at the same time, it's not the end of the world. But, you know, that first finger is going to lift up first. Second finger will lift up after, but if they both come up in this case, it's totally fine. And then that top finger is going to do a little strike. And it happens like right away, immediately after it has lifted. So the only thing is, its strike has to happen after the second finger lifts. So if your second finger is too slow, it's not going to sound right. So that second finger has to lift before the top finger does its little strike. And if both fingers lift up at the same time and the top finger does a strike, I think it'll sound just fine. So in theory, maybe that top finger is a little bit ahead of the other finger, but I don't know that's going to sound much different. And then we have this little half doubling or doubling on the F from the G, and we're just going to bring down that top finger, and then the top finger does its own up and down. And you can hear how once it gets up to speed, it's still touching down and doing its own up and down, but it happens a lot closer together as you get that movement up to speed. So your first finger, with all these G grace notes and doublings, your first finger is going to get pretty snappy pretty quickly here, working on this chanter. And then after that little half doubling on the F, drop down to E, and then we have our D grace, or D throw, which we did in lesson 1 from the E to the D throw. So if you need more review on that, hop back to lesson 1 for a moment or two, or a day or two, or a week or two, or a month or two. But you get the idea. Hop back there, check it out, and then come back to this video. So that's our D throw. And then we have this D down to low A business with the E grace note, which I admitted lots of times I don't do this embellishment, but I am teaching it so you have the option to do it. And that's the same as lesson 2. So again, that's that ring finger of the top hand that's doing that G grace note. And then we have one last, or E grace note, I should say. And our last grace note is the G grace note. So we're on the low A, we're going up to B. And I don't think we've done that particular movement in this tune. So that top finger lifts, we go up to the B by lifting up the ring finger of the bottom hand, top finger comes down. So that's the order of events. We don't want that top finger to do its own up and down and then go up to the B. It's not going to be the right sound. Not what we're going for. That's what we're going for. So the top finger lifts, you do the note transition, top finger comes down. So that's what we're going for. So let me play. I'll do no embellishments, lesson 1, 2, and 3 all strung together. Then I'll do with embellishments, lesson 1, 2, and 3 all strung together. And really excited to go on in this tune with you in lesson 4 and beyond. We'll talk about that crazy ending. It's a Tor Lewis in the ending of line 1, but Tor Lewis can be a little bit daunting, so I'll give you some easier options there. I got 2 easier options there, but you do have to do some sort of embellishment to separate those 2 B's. But give you 2 other easy options there for that ending of line 1, and we'll go through the rest of the tune. So check out the link below, and here's the first 3 lessons, no embellishments, and then with embellishments. And until next time, happy piping. And here's with embellishments.